Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has warned the US will abandon trying to broker a Russia-Ukraine peace deal within days unless there are clear signs a truce can be reached. Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022 and has placed a number of conditions on any potential ceasefire. Despite the Trump administration's initial confidence that it could secure a deal quickly, attempts to reach a full ceasefire have yet to materialize, with Washington blaming both sides.
I think it's important to remind everybody that the Ukraine war is a terrible thing, but it's not our war. We didn't start it. The United States has been helping Ukraine for over the last 3 years, and we want it to end. But it's not our war. I want everyone to understand that. And the reason why I make that point is the president has spent 87 days at the highest level of his government, repeatedly taking efforts to bring this war to an end. We are now reaching a point where we need to decide and determine whether this is even possible or not, which is why we're engaging both sides. As you know, Ambassador Witkoff has had not one, not two, but 3 meetings with Vladimir Putin to determine the Russian perspective on this and understand what it would take for them to end it. We, General Kellogg, myself, and others have had repeated engagements with the Ukrainians. So we came here yesterday to sort of begin to talk about more specific outlines of what it might take to end the war, to try to figure out very soon, and I'm talking about a matter of days, not a matter of weeks, whether or not this is a war that can be ended.
I hope to meet with representatives of the government. I hope to have the chance to actually see Kilmar and see what his condition is.
A US senator has met a man who Trump administration officials have acknowledged was deported in error from Maryland to a mega prison in El Salvador. Maryland Senator Chris Van Pollen posted photos of his meeting with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, whom the administration has refused to return to the US despite an order from a federal judge. After the meeting, which appeared to take place in a hotel, El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, said the detainee would remain in the country's custody. The White House has accused Mr. Abrego Garcia of being a member of the transnational Salvadorian gang MS-13, a designated foreign terrorist organization, which his lawyer denies. US airstrikes on a key oil terminal on Yemen's Red Sea coast, controlled by the Houthi movement, have killed at least 58 people and wounded 126 others. The Houthi-led government that runs northwestern Yemen said the terminal was a civilian facility and that the attack constituted a fully fledged war crime. It was one of the deadliest incidents since President Donald Trump ordered US forces to intensify their bombing campaign last month, in response to Houthi attacks on Red Sea shipping and Israel linked to the Gaza war.
The government of Canada to actually duplicate the same rules.
The leaders of Canada's 4 major federal parties have squared off in their second and final debate ahead of this month's general election. But it was someone off stage who stole much of the spotlight, US President Donald Trump. A big question heading into the 2-hour forum was whether Liberal leader Mark Carney, who has been leading in the polls, would stumble. Carney, the former governor of the Bank of England, managed to survive Wednesday's French debate despite being less proficient in the country's second language. It's been announced a British couple are among the 4 people killed in a cable car crash near Naples in Italy. The mountain cable car cabin plunged to the ground after one of the cables supporting it snapped on Thursday. The cable car operator said it had passed a safety inspection just 2 weeks ago, and a criminal investigation has now been opened. The UK Foreign Office said it was in touch with local authorities, but has not confirmed the identities of the victims.
Watch her, the lady are warm up. Watch her.
And this is the moment Jamaica's sprint icon, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, completely demolished other parents in a race at her son's school sports day. The 3-time Olympic champion, who is the 3rd fastest woman in history, competed against other parents at her son's school. She also praised her son for coming first in his race and called him her champion. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.